we are going to look at summary writing. This is a continuation from where we left last time on writing skills. Now, what do we mean when we talk of a summary? And a summary, it is like an overview of the main point. So meaning, there is the major point that you want to pass across, but because of the details and other initiatives that are in it, you're trying to come up with a way in which you as a person, you are going to be able to bring out that main text, but in a very short way. So that short overview of the main points of a text, it is going to allow you as a writer to be able to present your huge or maybe your long message, but in a very, very short manner. And the purpose is to quickly give the reader or the listener an idea. And this is what we call it more like a rough idea or the main idea of what you want to share. Because sometimes long messages or maybe long passages tend to alienate the reader from trying to get the message. And therefore, we want to reduce that alienation and make sure that we are able to proceed forth and acknowledge whatever has been put maybe within the same spectrum. So the reader is being given a rough idea of what the material is saying about, and you may sometimes find it very helpful to make sure that whatever you are going to write, when you are impressing summary, then it will more often try to assist you in passing your ideas out very, very easily. And if you are going to do so, then automatically it will project an image of proper understanding or an image of proper engagement towards the same. So why do we summarize? Let's just ask ourselves, why a summary? Because summaries are there, but why do we need a summary? So at some point you'll find, if you are a student or you are maybe a practitioner in a certain field, you might be given an assignment to summarize a specific text. Now that assignment, it is trying to prompt you as either a reader or maybe a consumer of a certain message, or maybe a practitioner in that field, to be able to try and come up with a summary of what is there. So while you are summarizing, we want to find what is the sole intent. And sole intent means, what was the main intention of the writer when he was coming up with that long or wide message? Because the intention or the objectives or the context of what wanted to be shared is what we shall want to try and apply and utilize within our own spectrum. And that's why you find that most of the summaries are going to try and carry a holistic approach in terms of your engagement and try to incorporate a lot in terms of either quotations, paraphrases, or some bit of your own opinions, which they are going to be maybe transferred, or maybe they are going to be put forth in a different way. And that can show either the understanding, or it can show maybe the engagement forth, which can be utilized within the same position. Now, the other question is, what is a summary? What makes, because what makes something to be said to be a summary? Because summaries are there, but what makes something to be said to be a summary? So most of the time you'll find that when you are coming up or you are reading an article, or maybe you are reading a certain passage or message, it will be said to be a summary when you read it and jot down for your own memory, or maybe from your own memory, without now referring to the original text or the original context, and be able to use it across the point. So you will be summarizing when you use your own words, but not undermining the intention of the writer, because as much as you are summarizing, don't summarize to an extent that you find you've lost the main intention of the writer. And then number 2 is condensing. That is more like reducing the more larger text into a very small and initiative that you as a person, you can present to the expected persons and it be used to formulate whatever is fully expected. Then you are able also to provide accurate representation, because a representation is like a reproduction of the message by the writer or maybe the passage you are reading. So you make sure you give an accurate presentation, because anything that is going to be totally different from what the intention of the writer was, then that summary can lose its meaning. And lastly, you avoid the personal opinion, because the moment you use your own opinion, sometimes they undermine what the writer originally wanted to share. And then the third question is, how do we organize a summary? So this simply means the contents of a summary or the format of a summary. And there are usually 3 major items: the introduction, the body, and the conclusion. Now, under introduction, it is a brief overview of what you are summarizing about and the manner in which you want to summarize it. So that brief maybe explanation of what you are summarizing, then it comes in to try and give the position of what is there. And then under introduction, there are 4 main things or 5 that you are going to mention. The name of the author must stand out very well. The title of the summary should come out also in a manner that is duly expected. The text being presented also should be shown in a very better way. Then the main ideas should be shown forth and separated from the minor ones. And then you give the context. That is, what was the main intention of the writer, by giving that full-blown information. What intention did that person have across the point, so that you don't lose what was mainly expected for. So I will finish up with steps that are fully followed when we are seeking to put our summary forth. So those are the steps that we follow. Now, 1, you identify the sections of the text, meaning what do you want to summarize, so that you bring down or you break down the text into subsections that you feel when they will be conjoined, they will be able to make that summary. Then distinguish between the major points and the minor details, so that you, at one point now under number 3, you will remove the minor details and remain with the major details, because number 2, you are distinguishing between the main and the minor, or maybe the major and the minor details. When you've done that, you go down and remove those minor details and examples by condensing the text into a very agreeable manner. And then you begin on the transitory words, the words we are using to join sentences like therefore, thus, and maybe however, plus even the conjunction, so that they are not going to undermine or maybe change the meaning of what is there. Then do reorder the ideas from the manner it is needed, because if the points were coming out in a different way, you can change the order to make sure that they are coming out in a manner that it is going to be put forth very well. And then lastly, you should preserve your opinions. So don't bring also your opinions forth, or maybe utilize them on a larger extent, because they might in one way or another going to still undermine that spirit of what you wanted to share and maybe put to the intended persons. So that completes our topic on summary writing, and God willing we shall proceed from there to the next topic. Thank you.